Se ve muy bien eso.
Sí.
Te voy a poner chucho más para atrás. Se ve muy bien. Pero ojalá.
So, you want to start now? Okay.
Action whenever you're ready.
Okay, so welcome.
Thank
to
you.
El Tigre de Triangulo Swag, BB himself. Thank you for being with us today.
No, thank you por la invitación. Aquí para la que se necesiten.
Thank you so much for being on. So this is pretty much my first episode. It's great, you know, it's an honor to have you be on for the very first one.
We popping the cherry.
Yeah. It's first time here for everybody. So yeah, you know, we're pretty much just gonna do this, get to know the culture in Miami, you know, the culture of music as a whole and the people that are affecting the music industry, and, you know, just making moves within the industry and making it their own, you know, kind of innovating. So, you know, that's basically what this podcast is going to be about. We're going to be talking about Triangulo Swag, some of your history, the way you got it started, the people you've been working with. You know, you've got a long rap sheet, a long roster of people that are on your team. So we want to get a little bit into that. So first and foremost, BB, you're part of Triangulo Swag, Triangulo TV. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's correct. Well, Triangulo TV is basically my new baby that I'm nurturing. Like, everything with Triangulo started with music. Mm-hmm. We first started doing music like a DJ Khaled type of thing, like taking beats from somebody, putting two different artists in, just making collabs, doing things that the artists either couldn't get to each other or just had an ego and didn't want to go do it.
Yeah.
So that was my passion. I started doing that, so my name started being heard at the end of the songs. Mm-hmm. This was in Dominican Republic. So after that, I started doing my videos. I did the first video that like catapulted Dominican hip hop to the world. That was El Lápiz. Vaquero se partió el lápiz. It was a tiradera beef with El Lápiz Consciente. That at that point, those two was the head honchos of the shit.
Yeah.
So I had the pleasure of doing both of their beats.
Yeah.
Vaqueros tos Lápiz, and then El Lápiz hit with R1, like another. Le tiró para atrás. I don't know how you say that in English.
Yeah.
He clapped back. Yeah, he clapped back.
Okay.
Then I did that video too. So that's how the whole. It wasn't still Triangulo, it was just BB, the brand, started. Okay. Then I started doing, like, I want to collab Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. Mm-hmm. So that's when the name Triangulo started.
Okay.
I did a mixtape. I did 2 mixtapes. I did an album, which never was released. Mm-hmm. I'm releasing all the songs this 2020, 10 years later. So
hey, better late than never, though. You know, it's kind of like you just progress and you work on it, and when it's ready, it's ready.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And it has a history to it now. Mm-hmm. Now all these artists, back in 2009, there was the up and coming cats.
Yeah.
And now they're like, you know, certified. So now I got a whole bunch of certified artists and singles that it's time to put out.
Yeah, and I think that with that, you actually get to kind of hear the styles change, you know. Then they're already done their thing, been there, verified, you know. And
that's correct. This funny you say that. Because when I put the track to Jay Alvarez, he was like, yo, that's that kid with hunger, like that's not me anymore, but I respect that. I want to sound like that again, but like, yeah, like, you know. Yeah. So there's a few of those, like El Lápiz, that Biggie and Tupac mixed in one Dominican.
Yeah.
And he is that lyrical monster back when he was hungry that I got in a song. So yeah,
that's awesome.
We're throwing all of that out there. So since I diversed from the film that what started me, that's how Triangulo TV is coming about. Because now I'm coming back, since I was just focusing on clothes, and I already got that up and going. So now it's time to get back to basics. So that's what Triangulo TV it's all about in 2020. Just giving content, any type of content. If you're an influencer, you wanna, let's say this podcast, you wanna put it on YouTube, you can put it on Triangulo TV.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I saw that apart from, you know, doing the beats, you also do video direction. Like you direct.
Yeah, I've never done beats like me as myself, but I got a good ear.
Okay.
So since I know producers, I just tell producers, give me beats and I get rappers to rap on them.
Okay.
So that's basically, awesome. I executive produce, let's say. But I'm not hands-on with equipment.
But you're the middleman, you know, and in actuality, like, I think that's something that a lot of people could use, you know, just someone to connect them to the right people. So, you know, I think a lot of artists, I feel like a lot of artists, people don't know this about them, but some of them are kind of reclusive. Like they stay in the studio, you know, they stay in the beat making process, you know, so for a lot of them to meet and network, sometimes it's not that easy. So it does take a middleman, which that's cool that, you know,
and egos too. Is I don't know about why rappers don't let us do what we do. For example, if you're a rapper, Carlos, and you don't like Pedro, you don't want to get on the track with Pedro.
Yeah.
But if this is a sport and it's entertaining, and you both are hot and you both got fans, custies, why not do a record like I'ma diss you and you diss me in the same record, but we break bread of whatever this is making? Like, to me, that's entertaining, but sometimes rappers don't think like that. It's all about, nah, yo no voy a grabar con fulano.
Of course. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you know, it's made for TV, you know, it's made for the entertainment. It's cool to just hear the back and forth. So yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that you've been able to kind of have your hands in a couple of other things, and then you took on the Triangulo swag, which, you know, is a clothing brand. Yeah, and I mostly wanted to see why clothing. You know, why clothing? Is that something that you've always kind of like had a passion for? Or?
It's funny because since young, I've never thought I was gonna do clothes to sell. That never came through my mind, nor that I was gonna have a store. I'm like, nah. That's not in my things to do list. But since young, and I've always, like, there was a, let's say, a Polacoilito concert in DR.
Yeah.
So I made myself a Free Tempo shirt. So I knew nobody was gonna have that shirt because I made it basically just getting that image and tweaking it and heat transferring it to a shirt. But I used to do all of that for myself.
Yeah.
And then, you know, shit happened. That actually was a mistake that made money. Triangulo swag was a mistake that made money.
That's a beautiful mistake, man. Because if that can make you money and, you know, take you to where you are, it's like, that's, I feel like, the ideal setup for anything, you know, for any passion.
Yeah, God has a plan with me, and it's weird how he takes me from things like I used to do videos. I was that nigga, but it wasn't creating no revenue for my pockets, but it was building up a brand that now my clothes exploded because artists rock it. I mean, it's fly, but artists rock it. And why do artists rock it? Because artists know me. And why do they know me? Because I used to do this. So it's all part of a chain. But it's funny how I've never thought about doing it, but I used to do it.
Yeah.
Inconscientemente, you know?
I mean, I think really that's where you know, subconsciously, like unconsciously, you fall into the things that you like, you know. And I think really, if you like something, you're gonna do it no matter what the obstacle is, you know. So
that's a fact.
Really
like,
awesome.
It's blood, sweat, and tears. Like, we eat this. Sometimes I get home at 10. I leave my house at 10 in the morning. I get home at 10. Like, I gotta be on my laptop because either I gotta send emails, design a shirt, talk to the Pakistani niggas, talk to the Chinese people. It's like different time frames. So sometimes I'm at 2 o'clock in the morning texting, and you're like, who are you talking at this time? I'm talking to China because
I'm making paper, baby. How you gonna get your nails done?
Correct, you know? So it's things like that, you know, it's just cool and funny at the same time.
Yeah. And then I saw also that Triangulo swag has a kids line.
Yes, correct. That's the baby I created.
The babies are gonna be swagged out. That's awesome.
Dope parents have dope kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the slogan for the grown-ups is sexiest art. You know, very provocative shit. Sexy but never vulgar. So for the kids, it's dope parents have dope kids. I mean, the CEOs of that company is my girl, Michelle, and my 2 daughters.
That's awesome.
I have them, you know, design, do whatever they want. You know, sometimes I'm always overlooking shit. But sometimes they don't do it, so I have to overlook and take command.
Yeah.
But if it was up to me, they do everything. I let them design, choose colors. The kids.
But that's awesome though, because I feel like kids have such an, an uncensored creativity. You know, they're not worried about what people like.
That's
they're not worried about, oh, this is gonna sell, this is not gonna sell. You know, I think they're just thinking, okay, I would wear this.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, like kids. That's the best thing about kids. They're honest. Too honest.
And my little one, she's bald. Like she tell you right there, she speaks in some very fancy words that you're like, yo, you 11?
Yeah, you like, where'd you learn this?
Yeah.
School changed since we've been around.
Yeah, that's just the internet.
Yeah, for real though. And so, I see that you travel a lot. You go to Miami. We're in Miami right now, 305.
305. You got all my people here.
Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, New York, everywhere. So I'm gonna ask you, what's your favorite place? What's your favorite place to travel to so far?
That's a hard question. And there's so many places I want to go, I still haven't. But like to live, it always like a millionaire. I got 50 cent money and I could live anywhere. I will live in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Yes. But now we're gonna try Miami, 2020 we're gonna move out here, get back on the directing things, film.
Okay.
The weather's better here than in New York.
Oh, yeah.
I like New York hustle mentality and speed, but that weather's trash.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know, I just feel like I need a little shake to change.
So, but if you could live anywhere, like if you had that 50 cent money, you would go to DR, to the hometown?
Correct.
Yeah,
I live up in a mountain in a big ass crib.
Yeah. Secluded or in the city?
No, secluded.
Okay.
I'm never like to be in the mix. I'm a kind of a cool loner. I'm by myself, but
you see those artistic types. I told you. I told you. It's their thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like to be in the middle of the hood and the loudness and shit during the day.
Yeah.
But once I want to smoke a blunt and be nothing, I want to listen to the crickets. So I'm gonna go back to the suburbs.
I got you. And so, like I said, I saw that you have, a great rap sheet of artists that you've worked with before. I'm gonna let you take a little name drop, session right now. Because I saw you have some big names under your belt, like Jay Alvarez, Cameron.
Yeah, I mean, with Cameron worked with clothes. I've actually never directed nothing for him. He told me you gotta prove yourself, literally.
Damn, well that's a challenge.
Like, but I met you doing clothes, and like you flying shit with the clothes, but you gotta prove yourself in the directing. I'm like, alright. But I got one up on him though, because I did win a bet. He's like, what's the best lenses? I'm like, anamorphic lens. No, it's not. Let's put $100. He called somebody, I won, long story short. So I got an upper hand on that one. Maybe we do work on some things, hopefully. If you're listening, killer, you already know. And then the Spanish, like I worked with Daddy Yankee, The Momal, Arcángel, Lapi, Vaquero, Mozart La Para, Black Point.
Yeah.
Just have all the género.
Yeah, of course. All the big names, those are some big guys.
Yeah, well, in the time frame, like I've never worked with the new cats. They know who I am because there was kids looking up to what we was doing, but of the new cats, I've never worked with them.
Well, I feel it's a very different style nowadays. It's a very different style. But I also saw that you have Zoe Dollars as well. Which Zoe Dollars, he's from Miami.
Yeah, he was cool. I mean, he's wearing my clothes. I never worked with him, that's no project, but he supported the brand. That's the good thing about doing fly shit. It don't matter your race, your age. If the shit got good quality and it look cool, niggas gonna wear it.
Yeah, of course, definitely. I don't know. What's maybe a staple piece for your outfits? Since you do the whole clothing line. What's one piece of clothing that you cannot go without?
Underwear, and I don't even know.
And maybe some days not even that.
Fast now, but I always have a hat on, to be honest with you. My line started with one hat. Yeah. Literally. From there, I started just trying to do pieces to match the hat, and then it evolved into a clothing line. But yeah, like hats. I'm very into hats. I like designing hats.
So then what's kind of, like a next project that you have in mind for Triangulo and, what's something that because you have your hands in a lot of things, what's something that you haven't done that maybe you want to start working on?
Well, I really want to finish my movie. Like, I want to get back into how I started my passion. Because, like I said, clothing and fashion has never been my passion. That I see it as a business. It's something that, like, I was born into. Like, I've always been fly when it comes to dressing. Like. And I've never been, like, the most expensive nigga wearing shit, but it always looked good.
Yeah.
I know how to finesse an outfit since young.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I made money out of it, but it was never my passion. My passion was to do film.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get back on that, back on the music, because I do like being in the studios and listening to music. The two things I've done continuously for the past, let's say, 22 years of my life, I'm 38, has been listening to music and smoking weed. So
yeah,
if I could make money out of those two things, like,
oh, definitely,
it's a blessing. It's
that's
not even a job.
Yeah, definitely. And so with your movie, I think I read a little bit about it. If you can possibly tell the listeners a little bit more about that and kind of what the next move is for that.
Well, I gotta finish it, to be honest. It's called Burundanga. And
what is Burundanga?
Burundanga is a drug that I blow it in your face, or you inhale it or anything. I control you without violence. So I go to, let's go to the ATM.
Yeah.
And give me all your money.
Yeah.
Give
I
me
think
a
they
kiss,
have
man.
something like that in Colombia. Like,
correct.
It's
a Colombian,
flower.
Correct, yeah. So out of that, I'm like, yo, this is a dope shit. Like, there's a lot of stories that you could pull out of that.
Yeah.
So I just wrote a little pilot and, shot it to see how it goes. I haven't finished it, but yeah, that's one of my dreams. I need a writer. If any one of the listeners is a writer, feel free to contact Ms. Raquel. And yeah, I just need to write up, put it in paper.
Yeah.
5 stories.
Yeah,
finish
awesome.
editing the pilot and start, shopping it around.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, luckily we're here, at L7 Pictures. This is my place of work.
Correct.
That's kind of how we've started this whole collaboration with the podcast. Why I'm kind of starting this project. L7 Pictures is facilitating a lot of this, so luckily we're in the right place, right time to kind of do something. So see where it goes from there.
Let's leave it into Dustin's hands.
Yeah. But we'll see where it goes and kind of figure out as we go. But yeah, let me see. Any more questions for you? So with directing, I always like to kind of get a piece of advice or like wisdom, or just from someone that's been there or done it before. What's a piece of wisdom that you can kind of lend to someone in the industry or with directing, fashion, clothing, all that you can kind of pass along to someone that wants to do that?
I think the question you're asking is not even in the subject, but in the sense of what's your passion, what's your dream. Just chase it and push, and if you fall, get back up, but work, because if you don't work, ain't shit, nothing, never gonna pop.
Yeah, definitely.
But shit do turn into reality, because we got a lot of billionaire rappers, we got a lot of people that's done what you want to do, just worked hard enough to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you hear that, people? Don't be slacking.
At
Don't
all.
just be scrolling on Instagram and Facebook. You actually got to put in the grind. I feel like a lot of people nowadays, it's like they look like they're working.
Shit won't be handed to you.
Yeah.
Nah, if it's handed, it got a trick.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's kind of a big thing. Nowadays it's everyone looks like they're working, but I feel like it speaks for itself. So what you've done is really spoken for itself. So
thank you.
Big ups to Triangulo Swag, Triangulo TV. This is gonna go up on the channel. But thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you
My name
for
is
inviting
Raquel,
us.
and I'm on the podcast that has yet to be named. But either way,
the No Name Podcast.
Yeah.
Here.
Either way, we figure it out as we go, and either way we start working, we figure it out. Thank you so much for being on, and that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having us.